how am I going to make this video? First off, understand that I am not a religious scholar, nor am I really a religious person. I think God has many names. I call him nature. The amount of things that have been playing out according to the Bible, that is like, stuff like the 112th Pope, which is, Pope Francis. I'm still going to be interested to see how he comes out as Peter the Roman, Pistorius Romanus. Was Saint Francis? Was it not Saint Francis Peter? I don't know this. This is a question. Is it not Saint Francis Peter of Rome? You know what I mean? Is it going to be that silly in predictability? If somebody knows, please tell me. Can we link this new Pope? I'm pretty sure his name is Pope Francis, who's charismatic, who's charming. I'm watching the CBC the other day, and I'm like, didn't they say the Pope that was going to give rise to the Antichrist was going to be charismatic and charming and likable? I mean, that doesn't mean all the other popes weren't liked, but him, he's already, he's funny, he's charming, he's this. Isn't he going to reform the Vatican? That means changes will happen if he reforms the Vatican. If he reforms the Vatican, is in that reform where he brings in the Antichrist. And who's the Antichrist? Da, 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 da. Well, off the coast of Australia last, in August or September, I guess it was, the oceans were bloody red with some sort of an algae in it. Egypt has a locust problem that they get every year, but it's worse than normal. It's spreading right to Israel. So we got the locusts. So a couple of seals, I think, have been broken. There's been, major famine across the world. And I can imagine 2013 is going to be, put food away. That's, we're going to need it. As much as you possibly can. Buy life-sustaining products like rice and stuff like that. Never mind flavor. It's about survival. Mom was talking to one of her friends in New Zealand this morning. They hadn't had rain in 3 months. They got some today. So it's technically their fall right now in our summer, or our winter, so they're opposite of us. But so world food shortages, even everybody's predicting it. It's not that, this might be a record-breaking year for farms. You never know. It's the fact that we don't have any reserves. They all went into ethanol here in North America. Last year was a bad year to get into farming, but a bad year to get into farming means that's usually when you must farm the most. So I tell people, grow as much as you can. If you can grow a little tomato plant off your balcony, do it, whatever. If everybody did that, it would be, it would take a burden off the system, So we're seeing the famine, we're seeing the drought. War, well, all over the place. The Great War, well, that's to be seen. Volcanoes and earthquakes and all that stuff, planetary alignments and asteroids and meteors. Been a pretty busy week, you know what I'm saying? So, so how much stuff has come out of the Bible? It's pretty. Now, the Book of Revelation in itself was written by an exile of Rome who was on. I forget exactly which island he went to, but to get away from the Roman Empire. And some say, well, he was just writing about the atrocities of Rome, so how did it get added into the Bible later on? Was it just for theatrics? But then again, you can't help but notice the coincidences between the Bible and the actual events that are taking place in our world today. The scariest one being really the Pope, because if this is the 112th Pope, this is kind of the make or break the religion, kind of in theory, because if there's a 113th Pope, the Antichrist, we missed him. This is supposed to be the last Pope, according to prophecy. So far, he's fits the bill. We just have to find out how Pope Francis is going to be Pistorius Romanus, Peter the Roman. Where's the connection? Because they found it on the last Pope with the olives. They found it. Everything's in riddles and tongues. So it'll be interesting to see where that heads. So I guess for something interesting, because for me, it's not a matter of so much a belief system. It's just that, is it that these people that wrote these books went through this kind of scenarios before, that man just doesn't really change his nature. Therefore, we're relating things to what we see, because they're describing something different, but the same scenario. Is that what we're seeing? Or are what we're seeing is that there are people that want the second coming of Christ so bad that they're willing to put everything in play to make it, to make it happen. I mean, you can't rule that out. Now, I know if you're a devout Christian and you're watching, I say, no, Christians are like that. Not all of them, but there are some that have very influential power that could be, so you can't factor it out, I'm not trying to shake your faith. What I'm telling you is that some people might have arrogance on their side, you know what I mean? So I guess maybe just, in case I've missed one of the horsemen, come see. Post stuff down below that you've noticed, and put the quote. And some people will do that, and I don't mind especially when you can reference it. Like Ezekiel 38, 39. Are we seeing the beginnings of that? All stuff like. But anything, it doesn't have to be just the Book of Revelation or whatever. It could be, are we entering the Great Tribulation? Well, if there's a food shortage this year, we are in the tribulation. So. Or is it just that the media can reach out so much now that, this has been going on forever, and it's just that everything's plugged in now. It doesn't matter where. I mean, we have a war in Timbuktu. Timbuktu, the place where people used to go where they didn't know where it was because it was in the middle of nowhere. Nobody knew where it was and nothing happened there. Well, they're at war now. Is nothing secret, So, so post down below stuff that you've noticed, and we'll go from there. All right. Okay. How am I going to make this video? First off, understand that I am not a religious scholar, nor am I really a religious person. I think God has many names. I call him nature. The amount of things that have been playing out according to the Bible, that is like, stuff like the 112th Pope, which is, Pope Francis. I'm still going to be interested to see how he comes out as Peter the Roman, Pistorius Romanus. Was St. Francis, was it not St. Francis Peter? I don't know this. This is a question. Is it not St. Francis Peter of Rome? You know what I mean? Is it going to be that silly in predictability? If somebody knows, please tell me. Can we link this new Pope? I'm pretty sure